The glass in my hand was still, but my pulse was a drumbeat in my ears. The chatter around the table blurred until her voice cut through. "No wine for me," she told the waiter with a sweet smile. "Trying to lose a few pounds." I didn't look at her. I just reached into my jacket and laid the envelope on the table. STD test results. Her name printed in black and white. "Or is it," I said, my voice level, "because you got knocked up by the Groom a week ago and you're on antibiotics?" The stem of a champagne flute shattered somewhere to my left. The bride froze. Her eyes darted between us. Her hands shook so hard the knife she held scraped against the plate. Then she whispered, barely breathing, "Everyone, I need to make a confession." The room stilled, like the air itself had been yanked out. I met Claire 8 years ago. She was fire and warmth, a best friend, a lover, a partner in every definition that mattered. We built a life on small apartments, late-night takeout, whispered plans for the future. Trust wasn't a word between us. It was the air we breathed. Her best friend, Emily, was part of the package. I liked her well enough. She was bright, quick with a laugh, the kind of woman who turned heads at every party. And then came Ryan, Emily's fiancé. A bland but decent man, or so I thought. When Emily asked Claire to be her maid of honor, I was glad for her. Back then, I believed in their bond. I believed in everything. The first crack was small. Claire came home late from dress fittings, her perfume faint but altered. Then a text popped up one night while she was in the shower. "You make me feel alive. I can't wait till next time." No name, just a number I didn't recognize. I didn't confront her, not yet. I sat there in the bathroom steam, the sound of water masking my heartbeat, and I knew. It wasn't just cheating, it was something worse. 2 days later, I followed her. No cloak and dagger, no disguises, just quiet steps and distance. She wasn't meeting Emily, she was meeting Ryan. They didn't kiss in public, they were smarter than that. But the way she leaned toward him, the way his hand brushed her back, it was enough. The final proof came in a crumpled prescription slip in her purse. Antibiotics, the kind doctors give when penicillin isn't enough. Revenge is a slow art. I started with copies of the texts, the prescription, photos of them together. Then I called a friend in a clinic, had her run a test on Claire's behalf, without her knowing. Positive. I kept my face neutral at home. I let her kiss me. I let her plan her speeches for Emily's wedding. I let her think I was busy with work while I was crafting the stage. The wedding was my perfect venue. Every player would be there. Every mask would drop. I didn't just want her to hurt. I wanted them all to see her for what she was. I booked our seats at the head table, close to the bride and groom. I made sure the envelope was in my jacket. I waited for my opening, for her to speak in that falsely demure voice that once charmed me. When she refused the wine, she gave me the perfect cue. The words left my mouth calm, almost casual. The silence afterward was the loudest thing I've ever heard. Emily's face collapsed in on itself. Ryan's fork clattered to the floor. He went pale, lips parting but no sound coming. Claire's breath caught, her hand trembling on the edge of her plate. "That's not," she began. But Emily was already rising, tears cutting down her makeup. "Stop," she said, voice breaking. "It's true." A collective gasp rolled through the guests. Emily stared at Ryan like he was a stranger. Then she turned to the room. "We've been, for months. I thought I loved him. I thought—" She crumpled mid-sentence, sobbing into her hands. Her mother pulled her into an embrace, glaring over her shoulder at Ryan. Someone else muttered, "Disgusting." Claire's chair screeched as she stood, looking between me and Emily, searching for some anchor that wasn't there. "I can explain," she whispered. I didn't let her. I just stood, buttoned my jacket, and walked away, leaving the envelope on the table like a gravestone. By the time I reached the parking lot, shouting had erupted inside. Emily's father was demanding the DJ cut the music. A guest ran after me calling my name, but I didn't turn back. 2 days later, I heard the wedding was canceled before the cake was even cut. Ryan moved out of state. Emily disappeared from social media. Claire, well, she tried to call, tried to show up at my place. I never opened the door. People think revenge is about rage. It's not. It's about precision. It's about knowing exactly where to cut so the truth bleeds out in full view. I gave her that moment, in front of her best friend, in front of every person whose opinion she valued. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I let the evidence speak. I let her undo herself. Now, when I think of that night, I don't feel the old ache. I feel nothing. And that, more than anything, is victory.